Peter and Karen West milk around 400 cows on 160 hectares at Kaiheri on the Haraki Plains. Between them, they've won a number of farming awards. But despite the awards and outward appearances of success, Peter describes himself at the time as being tired and unhappy.
On this farm, we've been here 30 years. We're milking around 400, 420 cows here through a 44 side, and it's got a ProTrack drafting system, and it just makes life a lot easier. We went contract milking across the road in 50-50 here at 20, and then 3 years later, we bought half the farm, and we leased the other half, and then 5 years later we bought the rest of it, and then 3 to 5 years later we've leased neighbouring properties or bought neighbouring properties, so we haven't had to move very far. It's been great coming from a non-farming background, because even 30 years ago people were saying, don't go farming, there's no future in farming. And I just looked at the people that were making it happen and thought, they're making it happen, what are they doing? So we made friends with them, we followed them, we idolised them, and then over time you become them. And it's no different today. There's young people out there share milking, equity partners. Our manager's bought a neighbouring block and we leased it back off him, so he's also a landlord. So there's still a great future. It's just different to how it was, and the future's going to be different again, which is really exciting. You know, at 15, I had this vision of owning a farm and marrying this girl and having a successful relationship. So it was always at the back of my mind, and I was always looking at stuff to achieve that. What I didn't have was a set of values behind that, and I didn't understand that at the time, a set of behaviours, why I do the things that I do, and above and below the line behaviours. So we had to create a new vision. And the vision was, why are we milking cows? And I've seen plenty of people leave the dairy industry and go and do something else. And they still took that same attitude with them. And then they were getting sick and tired of that industry. And then they were bouncing over here. And I thought, well, if I'm going to do that, I want to sort my shit out first and understand why I'm not enjoying what I'm doing anymore. And, you know, I was getting really tired, as we all do. Then I'd get sulky. And I've sulked for years when things don't go well. So Karen did a couple of courses with Corrine Walker at Coach Approach Leadership, and she started changing on how she viewed the world and saw things. And she said, you've got some frustration and stored up anger, and that's why you're sulky. And I just said, you got to be kidding. I'm a nice guy. I mean, I've always got a smile on my face. I always make people happy. And that was the issue. Trying to be the best father, the best husband, the best community leader, the best farmer, and I didn't think much of myself. I never have. And the realisation of that, and to actually tell myself, actually, I'm a good person. I've done this and this and this. I should be really proud and thankful of that. We have a vision for our farm, and I have a vision for myself, because a vision gets me out of bed, it gives me purpose. And it's about growing. I don't want to retire. I still want to grow and develop myself. I still want a purpose till the day I die. And that revolves around helping people. Because if you help people, it makes you feel really good. So I've got this vision to grow, but you have to live it. And when you're really living it, people can see it's authentic, it's true. And so I'm starting to share it. And I've written a couple of articles and they've made national magazines. I've put a Facebook page out some of my posts have got a couple of thousand likes because it's starting to connect. It's resonating with people. I've had people, lots of messages and say, I thought I was the only one that thought like that. And that scared me to share this stuff. And then when other people were saying, hey, that's me, now I don't mind, and I'm making a difference. So where I'm at now is I'm in a completely different mindset, and part of that's to do with getting rid of my frustration and my sulkiness, and understanding when I get sulky, looking at myself and saying, I'm actually sulky, I'm really tired, I can do something about this, and taking some time and doing something about it. And And because I'm not going to go inside and dump it on my wife or my kids or my staff, it's my stuff, it's my shit. So we're doing silage?
Shed inspection,
Yeah,
silage,
yeah,
cows.
yeah.
Life has been really busy
Yeah.
over the years with the kids and being involved in a lot of community stuff as well as working the farm and doing family stuff. And it's, I think, 3 years now since the kids have all left, and thought that it was time. That was the reason why I started doing some of these courses. It was my time to do some learning, and before that it was always tied up with the farm. So it's made a huge impact on our relationship, and just communication has been the key, and just our working relationships and our home relationship is just so much better. And we understand each other, and things like when you're tired, and I always like to be part of the farm. I like to be part of all the decisions. I always want to know what's going on. And once upon a time, Peter would think that I was questioning him, or, why was he doing this or why was he doing that? It was never a threat. I just wanted to be part of it, and I wanted to know what was going on. We're an amazing team, and we just work so well together, and just that working relationship has just become so much better. We understand each other's behaviours better. If we're tired, and we will just, if we start to talk about something and it's not going so well, we will just recognise that and say, oh, we'll just leave this and come back to it. Or, we will pull each other up on things and just say, well, I think we're tired. I think we can talk about that another time. Or, so it's just made an amazing change. Made it so much more enjoyable. We love what we do.
This program was made with funding from New Zealand On Air.